Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Thursday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. A lot to talk about today. Another guy enters the transfer portal.
Not soon enough.
Somewhat of an infamous name now, unfortunately, but
yeah, he
nonetheless
left a stain. So
the golf team finds out their destination. Just as Coach Kleinert predicted on this show.
Right.
They end up in Baton Rouge. We'll talk about that bracket, who they will be facing a little bit as we move throughout the show today. Auburn going to finish up the softball regular season. Got a three-game series with Alabama starting today. And if you want to see Maddie Penta one more time, it'll be Maddie Penta Day, Saturday. So she's the all-time winningest pitcher in Auburn softball history. So, but she is a senior. So
she's done more than her share of the load, or carried more than her share of the load over the last couple of years, for sure, for the softball program.
Auburn baseball got a series with Ole Miss this weekend as well. That will begin on Friday. But hey, look, I mean, you gotta play it out.
Well, it's going to be played out. Yeah, you're going to play it out. I mean, none of these teams coming down the stretch are very good, but neither was LSU, and we lost 2 out of 3 to them. I think everybody's kind of ready for this year just to be over.
I don't think there's any question.
With baseball, and it's sad that it's that way. It hadn't been the last 3 or 4 years. You know, we've played for a lot. We've had, we've hosted a couple of regionals, and we've made it to the College World Series a couple of times. We've had really good runs. Butch Thompson's teams are usually playing outstanding this time of year. They found themselves. They've gotten in a groove. Just hasn't been the case this year. And look, I don't look for excuses or anything. I think this team is what it is. But I think we saw the schedule, and the first 4 series were horrific. And Auburn, they played in a lot of close games, and they just couldn't win many of those. They only got 2 wins in those first 4 series. And, it's hard to rebound a lot of times in this conference when you dig a hole that deep. And we've dug holes before, but again, the pounding and the way we lost and some of the things that kind of transpired, and maybe some of the guys maybe not being who Coach Thompson thought they would be on this team, really culminated into where we are right now for this baseball season. So, yeah, play it out. That's all you can do. You've got 3 series left. So we'll see where it all lands, and of course Auburn playing in softball with 1 series left as well. Kind of see where that plays out too.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no excuse for going 3-18 if you're Auburn. I mean, I don't care what
not that
is.
bad.
I don't care what anything is.
Right.
There's really no excuse for going. You've been recruiting really well. This is not an excuse. It's just reality. But what you were saying, I mean, think about this. Last week, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky were ranked number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 in the nation.
Right.
Auburn's played all of us. Auburn is good, but are you as good as
I'm
those?
not sure this team's good.
Well, they're not.
I mean, I think they're. I think
compared to those
I think
guys,
if they were a good team, they would have held their own a little bit. They haven't held their own a little bit with this. Even with the schedule you just ripped off, Andy. I would like to have thought when this team started 13-2 even though it was out of conference games, that we would be a good team in this. And a good team in this league is around the 6 or 7 mark, right? I thought that that's probably who we'd be. If we could navigate those first few series and then kind of get a little momentum and have a chance. We saw the tail end of the schedule be a lot more manageable, but now we're here and we're not managing it either. So, but again, has the damage been done at that point? What do you do? I mean, if you win 2 or 3 against Ole Miss, you win 2 or 3 against Missouri, and you win 2 or 3 against Alabama, what have you done? Okay, you're playing better. That would be, what, 6 more victories? That would put us at 9. Ain't not.
It's still not.
It's not good.
No. But I think 9 of maybe the 18 losses have been by 2 runs or less.
Well, I rattled that off to, you know.
It is what it is. I mean.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think you can say this team that's sub 500 overall record and that abysmal in SEC play is a good team. I can't use the word good in a sentence with that record. So this team I thought was going to be good. But they're not good, and it's not because they're not trying. It's not because the effort's not there. The things have not come together the way they should have come together for this team, or the way it was anticipated to come together for this team. You know, all the signs were there. You had a majority of your pitching back. You had the key players back in the lineup as far as the hitting. I mean, we talked about that. Coach Thompson was on the show. He said, man, you know, this lineup gives us a chance every night. And for the most part on the offensive side, it does. It hadn't been scoring runs that's been the problem. It's been giving up boatloads of runs. So that's the key. And look, nobody knows that more than he does, right? So it's not like we're up here giving everybody something that nobody knows. They understand it. They work on it and practice every day. They want to get better worse than anybody. So sometimes you just have to wad it up and throw it away and prepare for the future. And I think that's what they'll do.
So probably so. Coy Moore enters the transfer portal. That's the one we were referring to. Obviously, he was a transfer from LSU. Kind of became, unfortunately, infamous for being the one that fumbled the punt, muffed the punt against Alabama that led. Of course, again, much like the –
But it killed the moment.
Well, I mean, much like the Red Sox and the Mets, you know, the Bill Buckner, yes, he made the error, but they could have come back and won Game 7.
They could have.
Yes, he muffed the punt, but all we have to do is not give up 4th and 31. But still,
it's not all on him, but that began the chain reaction of falling
it was
apart.
Really
I mean,
bad.
what was it? 5 and a half?
It was a really bad moment.
5.5 minutes.
Just get away.
Just get the heck out of it.
Just get away
Look,
from the ball.
Why? That again, that's okay.
Roll.
Sometimes it's coaching too. You look at the guy and say, look, I don't care if there's nobody within 30 yards of you, and if you can field it and you think you can score a touchdown, I don't care. Just get away from the daggum thing. All right, I'm going to go back and use an example in a high school football game. Auburn High School, for all of you Auburn fans, I know I'm bringing up bad memories, man, because I called this game for the state network. I'm not a Thompson fan. I'm not Auburn fan. I was a pure neutral broadcaster, and I wanted to throw up for Auburn people because it was so bad.
Worst collapse I've ever seen.
Look, all you got to do, if you're the punter, and you tell that punter going out there, it don't have to be a spectacular punt. Just don't get it blocked.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's all rally. If it does get blocked, don't let them return it. Just tackle them because time is on our side. There's a lot of things that have to transpire. And he caught the punt, Andy, and it was like, is he going to punt it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, how long are you going to stand back there with the ball and it got blocked and it got scooped up and they scored? So it created the chain of events. So if he just punts the ball 5 yards, if it goes straight out of bounds 5 yards, Thompson can't win that football game. They just can't because there's not enough time. But the chain of events that happen, the picking up, the blocking, the picking up, scored, kicking the onside kick in that small amount of time with no time going off clock enabled them to do what they did. If they got to run a few plays, you can't do that. So Coy Moore, again, all not on his back. But if he don't touch the football and it lands and they down it, we got the ball. We got to at least make them burn timeouts. we're going to have the ball for at least 3 plays. If we get a first down, the game pretty much may be over at that point. But you don't get a chance to do any of that when you muff the punt and you give them the ball inside the 40-yard line. So, I mean, just wow.
And, I mean, the fact that he was falling down trying to catch the thing as he was, almost prone to the ground.
I mean.
It was a –
And poor Keontae Scott got hammered. That's what happens when you wear double numbers. Everybody thought, well, Keontae Scott.
What is he doing?
Scott.
Yeah.
Why would and Keontae Scott was over there injured, trying to get worked on, and then Coy Moore comes out there. And, again, in the Alabama game, the Auburn-Alabama game, players are infamous for one or two things, heroes or zeros.
Yeah.
And, no pun intended, the number on his chest was a 0.
It was.
And that's what happened. And again, it was a bad deal. And you're right. How about make a play on 4th and 31? And then we're not even talking about this.
Yeah.
So.
But it was, I mean, he is yes, the transfer portal has closed, but he is a graduate, so it's still open for graduate transfers.
Right.
That's what he will be. He is entered the portal. We'll see what happens with that. But Coy Moore no longer probably going to be at Auburn. Take that for what you will.
Okay.
All right, we got to take a break.
I'll take it.
But don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on the Thursday edition of the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
GlennSmith.com, the great shopping experience you'll get at our dealership. Online, GlennSmith.com. Brand new Chevrolets, brand new GMCs. GlennSmith.com. Compare pre-owned models side by side. GlennSmith.com. Get your best price every day and see everything we offer at your convenience 24/7. Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile at GlennSmith.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you on this Thursday, brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center with 9 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. They got a little bit of everything there, and they can beat the big box store. Also, J.A. Smith, construction and excavation. No job is too big. No job is too small, residential or commercial. Give them a call today, 334-531-0199. They are extremely busy. And that's because they do quality work. Central Alabama Community College, 4 campuses around Central Alabama, Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. For your technical degree, or maybe you want to take care of your basics before you transfer to a 4-year institution, whatever the case may be, Central Alabama Community College, the place for you.
All right, got some comments coming in. John said Andy and Brett are straight shooters. We try to shoot it like it is, man. Hey, we want everything to be great.
Oh, well, I'd love to live in roses and rainbows.
Ain't no doubt here. But it's not the case most of the time.
We're in the midst of 3 losing seasons in football.
Right. Can you remember in our lifetime that?
No.
That's never happened. So yeah, I mean, how else are you going to spin it? And again, we try to stay on the level, and you got to get better. I mean, look, the only answer is to face the things that you're not doing well and correct them. And I think Hugh Freeze is doing that. I think John's more referring to baseball than anything. So he said sometimes the ball, in this case, doesn't bounce your way. I mean, in Auburn last year, won 12 out of their last 15 SEC games to win 17 SEC games, and had a phenomenal run, was the hottest team in the conference, really, coming down the stretch. Won a lot of close games, had a lot of plays go their way. This year, none of them are going their way. Ty said, will the softball team qualify for the SEC tournament? Is Bruce Pearl done recruiting for the No, he's not done recruiting. I mean, there's still a couple of places that he would like to fill, or spots he would like to fill. I think Duke Miles will make a decision here soon. Don't know if he ends up at Auburn or not, but he's not done. And, yes, the softball team will make the SEC tournament. I think all of the teams end up going there. It's not like baseball. Steve said, I believe Freeze coaching was awful beginning with New Mexico State to Maryland, so that in that stretch. You know, actually, Steve, I thought we had – in the Alabama game, we played about as well as we could play. You know, obviously outmatched talent-wise in that game, but had an opportunity to win it, put it away. And so, yeah, but you can't deny the last play of that game for us. I mean, you rushing basically 2 men. I mean, you had 3, but one dropped back about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. What was he doing? I mean, so you had 2 up there. So you did give him all day to survey. You know, eventually he's going to have to cut the ball loose and throw it into the end zone. But if you put pressure, he had already run past the line of scrimmage twice in that game and made an illegal forward pass. He obviously was a little rattled at points in that game, Jalen Milroe, and made some mistakes here right on that drive that cost them some things. So when you let somebody just sit back there and survey the field, and it's hard to expect defensive backs to run that long. So you're right. That was definitely part of coaching as well. And then the Maryland game, I don't even know what that was.
Well, think about, think back. Think about us playing the quarterback shuffle. I mean, I look back at that and think, did that really happen? Were we shuttling in those two guys for how many games?
Three or four, at least.
It just makes no sense.
Well, didn't we say that all in the off season?
Yeah.
Well, how many times do we have to go into
Pick
a
a
season?
guy, let's go.
How many times? It never works out, man. No. The only time I've ever seen it work out was Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. It's the only time, and it was very limited for Tim Tebow. It was like situational stuff at that point in time in his career. This would be, man, you got to drive, he got to drive. You can't get any continuity going. I think he learned from his L's on that. I think he was trying to be PC and trying to keep everybody hard. In this world, man, with the constant turnover in college athletics and players coming and going and whatever, you better put the best guys on the field at all time and just let the chips fall where they may. When you're trying to make and appease everybody and want to, hey, I got to get him some snaps. And, Coach Freeze just kept saying, Robbie's a big part of our offense, major part of our offense. He's got to roll. He's got to roll. And the whole time we're up here going, no, I don't think it's going to work out well. And then an epiphany happened about halfway through the season where he's like, yeah, we're probably going to move on.
Yeah, maybe this was a dumb idea.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's do something different.
Yeah, let's do something different. And albeit Peyton Thorne wasn't any type of all-star quarterback at all, mediocre at best, if that's the best option, you need to let him run the team and get better. He's not getting better when he's having to come off the field all the time. So he basically lost 4 games there at the beginning of the season, half of a game, each game, because he was splitting time. So all that goes into effect on how you perform and play. So we'll see how it goes. But keep your comments rolling in on Facebook, YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. 256-234-6221 to be part of the program by phone. I'll let you talk about these statistics from 23. We're looking forward.
I went back and looked and, just kind of talk since the transfer portal has closed. And we talked about yesterday just a little bit, some of the production that Auburn has brought in.
Right.
Have you addressed your needs? Think about last year, 162 yards passing a game. That'd be dead last in the SEC, 121 in the country. Think about how many receivers are gone from last year.
The entire receiving room pretty much is
pretty much gone. So you've got a new room. Now, is Peyton the offensive line's part of that?
We're going to find out real quick
blocking?
What kind of quarterback Peyton Thorne really is.
Because he
has a completely revamped wide receiver room. The offensive line is actually going to be a strength, we feel like, this year. We're going to see, man. If he's got wide open guys and he's missing them by 10 yards, it's not going to be a good deal.
You're going to find out pretty quick.
Yeah. Very fast.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dable, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Registration for the 41st Alabama State Games is now open at allagames.com. Join us as we return to Birmingham for an exciting 3 days of Olympic-styled action, June 7th through 9th. There are 24 sports offered and $40,000 in scholarships up for grabs. The Alabama State Games brings a mix of individual and team sports for all ages and abilities, so everyone can go for the gold. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Registration and event info can be found at allagames.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. A couple more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Third segment, we like to talk about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wines. Talk about some specials. They got some Mother's Day specials coming up. They got graduation specials. May is kind of
if you go hungry in May,
big month.
If you go hungry in May, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, go check them out. in Auburn or Montgomery, out there on East Glen if you're in Auburn, out in Pepper Tree, obviously, in Montgomery. But going on right now, the burger and wing special for a couple more days. And then through the weekend, the fish and shrimp fry weekend. So catfish or fried shrimp includes cheese grits, slaw, and hush puppies, dude, $17.99. So the Mother's Day specials will be going on May 9th through the 11th. They'll have a luau coming up on May 16th. I talked about that the other day. They're going to be roasting the whole pig out there. So
they bury it like the old. I mean,
everything, the whole deal,
the whole deal,
the whole pig. So and on down into the rest of the month, you got Memorial Day coming up. There's a Memorial Day special during that weekend, the 24th to 25th. Also, the Filet Friday and New York Strip special going on that same weekend. You got graduations coming up, high school and college. You need catering. They got it. They'll take care of it. They also have chicken and waffles today, by the way. That's the daily Thursday special.
Can't go wrong.
Who doesn't like that?
Fools.
Un-American.
Somebody that's un-American. Yeah.
That's right.
Russians. They don't like
chicken and waffles. I think they even like chicken and waffles. But go check them out there. We appreciate Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine so much. So
no doubt. Going back, and we were talking about last year and some of the frailties for this Auburn team, and how have they improved? Have they addressed the needs? Well, you brought in as dynamic a group of wide receivers
that we've ever
as
had.
You possibly could.
Yeah.
Now that's freshmen, and you've added to that
a couple veterans,
and a couple of veterans you've thrown in. So that's good. One from Georgia State. Then you brought in
looked good in
from
the
Penn State.
Yeah, looked good in that A game. So
look, those guys hopefully can come in and be, kind of fill a leadership role as well. But that room has certainly gotten
well, it's
better.
going to be hard to be worse.
It's going to be hard to be worse, but you got to be a lot better.
Yeah, you got to be a lot better.
You got to be a lot better if you want to compete in this league. Rushing game, you want to continue to be what you are. Well, you bring back everybody in the backfield, so that's a good thing. You were not good. Gave up way too many sacks last year. 10th in the league in sacks allowed, 101 in the country.
The only bright spot on the whole page.
Percy Lewis, though, you've addressed that left tackle position. That's,
The only bright spot, Andy's the running game.
Yeah.
I mean, last year we were number 4 in the conference, number 23 in the country. Outside of that, all the other numbers.
And think about doing that
were putrid
when having no passing game.
Right.
That just speaks more of that, how well you actually ran the ball.
Well, I think, you got one of the more talented, deep backfields in the conference. And if you do put together a semblance of a passing game, which we hope is more than that, but if you actually are a threat in the passing game, just think what it's going to open up. I said this probably a month or two ago. We're going to have to throw to open up the run. Usually it's running to open up the pass, but defenses against Auburn are going to be like, man, we stack in the box until that guy can prove he can beat us going down the field, or he can make the throws, or the wide receivers can make the plays to beat us. And that's the truth. And everybody knows that. The coaching staff knows that. So Peyton Thorne is really the determining factor. And I know that sounds like a cliche statement of, well, that's not some type of, overly intelligent statement. Everybody knows the quarterback stirs the drink. But the bottom line is this year, I think we got a lot of great pieces on offense, but if you have mediocre play quarterback, you won't be able to know what you have. Yeah. So if he's good, Andy, if he
could have a Michigan State type year,
oh man,
Auburn could be in business.
I think the offense could be one of the better ones in the conference. I really do.
If he plays like he did last year, you're going to get similar results.
Yeah, and to go back and try to process one of the biggest problems. You have the third down efficiency.
Bad.
That you look at that, we could not sustain drives at all. We were almost dead last in the conference. We were abysmal.
Because we were in third and long so much.
Right. And we were so predictable. And you gotta fix that. You got to be able to sustain drives. You got to be able to move the football and keep your defense off the daggum field. You know, I go back to that Texas A&M game, and I've done that here recently. We played on our side of the field the entire first half. We were in the game. They could not move the football either, Texas A&M. But the bottom line is we were punting out of our end zone, and they were getting it at midfield. Eventually, that's going to end up biting you, and it did. So that's kind of the way it plays out.
Turned the ball over 20 times.
God, man.
That was 13th in the SEC
I went to the Vanderbilt game, and Vanderbilt's horrible. And we really controlled.
Come on.
We really controlled the game. But, man, there were times there in the third quarter, you know, we really blew it on some opportunities to put the game away. And Jarquez Hunter had a couple big, long runs, if you'll remember, in that game. If you don't have those runs, we're in trouble at the end of that game.
I think, didn't he have one call back?
Well, he had another one called back.
Yeah.
But we had another touchdown that was scored that, you know, again, from the backfield, running the football is what won that football game. We had a horrible interception.
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne made a bad throw there, and he almost had another one, and the guy dropped it. And then we had a couple, and in defense of him, had a couple wide open. One of them was Camden Brown. I mean, I don't know what happened. He was by himself. The ball was perfectly thrown. I think he threw it down. Yeah. I mean, it looked like he went up and just kind of threw the ball down. It was odd. So it also goes to the receivers when they had opportunities last year. Andy, a lot of times they didn't come through.
Camden Brown, one of the lone guys, has actually come back, and he's
and he looks different.
He says, you know, look, I'm here. I want to be here, and he wants to get this thing right. Again, he seems to have all the tools. Maybe it's one of those things that if the light finally comes on.
You know, Luke comes in and says, don't get me wrong, Peyton missed his share of passes. But to me, it was more the receivers and the O-line. Time will tell. You're right. You're right, Luke. I mean, I think it's definitely a combination of both. It wasn't all on him.
Auburn has addressed both of those issues. Yeah. Now, will it work out on? I don't know. But at least we've recognized.
But if you're better in every area, how much better are you, and will it result the way we need it to be? So
don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
"76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community."
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, in a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's. Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, in a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is coming soon to the corner of 280 and 49 North in Dadeville. This new 10,000 square foot facility is conveniently located to serve the residents of the Lake Martin area and its many communities. A branch of Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory in Opelika, Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation looks forward to serving your families and your communities, as we have since 1900 at Frederick Dean. 256-750-0381. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Again, a couple of more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. As we mentioned, the Auburn golf team finds out that they will be the overall #1 seed, that is certainly to be expected. They've been the #1 team in the country for a while now, but they will be headed to Baton Rouge for the regional. It's where they kind of expected that they would be headed. So going to be competing with, Virginia is the 2nd seed, Texas Tech, the 3rd seed there. So Oregon, Duke, Ohio State, LSU in their home course. How about that? I mean, you know, that's kind of an advantage.
Well, we hosted one a few years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Louisville, Houston, South Carolina, Lipscomb, Yale. Watch out. Yale. Loyola, Maryland, and Arkansas Pine Bluff in Auburn's regional there. So this will take place May the 13th through the 15th. So hopefully expecting Auburn to take care of business and move on and see what happens after that.
Yeah, was great having Coach Kleinert on the other day. Did a,
very good interview.
He's just done a great job with this program and, went in depth about this league. And it doesn't matter what sport that you're playing in this league. This league is brutal. And I brought that up. And, they've got 2 young freshmen on this team.
It's a nice mix.
Right.
Yeah,
they do.
Younger and older players.
But the 2 freshmen really clinched the SEC championship. So won the individual championship, 1-stroke play, then ended up knocking Vanderbilt off in match play there. But
Jackson Corvin and Josiah Gilbert.
Right. Josiah Gilbert actually was matched up against the #1 player in the country in his match and won the match. Yeah, and so that clinched it for Auburn. So, but congratulations to them. Auburn's got a solid golf program. Coach Kleinert's been at Auburn for a while. They won it, the SEC in 18, and I think they finished runner-up in 19. They won the regional. They won their regional last year, so they're aiming for that. And then the national championship will be out in, I think it's Carlsbad, California.
Is it?
So we'll be where it is. We'll continue to follow them on their journey and hope that they can bring a national title home. In golf, we talk about football and basketball and baseball, and those get majority of the airplay for most shows. But equestrian wins an SEC title, basketball wins an SEC title, golf wins an SEC title. So look, it doesn't matter what sport you're competing in. It's hard to win them. So,
no question.
So Auburn, overall, I think one of the things that Coach Kleinert said is that he thinks that we're in the best shape we've ever been as an athletic department from top to bottom as far as alignment of beliefs and everybody pulling in the same direction. And you better be in this world, Andy, now, more than ever, because if you're not in lockstep with each other, and you got a lot of infighting in your athletic department and people not pulling in the same direction, you're getting further behind those that are. And you got to navigate this collective in the NIL world and the transfer portal world in every sport, not just the big three, but all of these sports. These kids have opportunities to move. I mean, we see immediately after the women's basketball tournament was over, lots of big names in girls basketball leaving and going back to other teams or going to other teams. I know those Cavender twins went from Miami to TCU, and now they're back at Miami again. You had a couple of LSU's top players getting the transfer portal, looking for new homes that were integral parts of their team. So it's not just football and basketball. Yeah. It's all of them out there.
Well, you speaking about Auburn, I mean, Dr. Roberts, Auburn has had presidents in the past that wanted to insinuate themselves into athletics more than they should have. Then you've had presidents that did, I don't want to have anything to do with athletics, and wanted to kind of minimize that.
And that's not
aspect.
good.
Well,
That's not good
Roberts loves it, and to this point, he has been, he has not insinuated himself. He's let John Cohen do his job. That's who he hired to do it. John Cohen, I thought, had an opportunity as a football coach. I think he made the best possible decision with what he had when he hired Hugh Freeze.
I did too.
So that's really good. He's going to have another round to go. This will be his second major decision, and I think softball coach is a major decision. So hopefully he will make as wise a decision there as he did, but that's another opportunity to show that the athletic department is in the best shape that it's been.
I don't think there's any doubt Auburn as a university and as an athletic department is committed to the success of all the athletes in every sport. I think our volleyball team's better, obviously. Track and field, swimming and diving, we can go through the whole list. Basketball is as best it's ever been over this longevity. I think Coach Harris is doing a tremendous job with our women's team. I saw her here in Alex City a few nights ago. And at JR Sports Bar and Grill. Why not, man? Hey, I mean,
everybody knows
about JR's, but ran into Coach Harris and, told her what I thought was her doing an outstanding job and just staying the course. Said, look, I know you had a mess to clean up, and she said she kind of agreed and, not speaking derogatory of anybody, but she's look at the recruits she's got coming in.
She just landed a big transfer from.
Oh yeah, and also getting the top players from in-state and going out and finding transfers in the transfer portal to come in and go with the girls that they've got coming back this year off that roster. She has progressed every year. This program's gotten better each and every year. I think they're going to challenge to be one of the better teams in the league that's coming up here with what they have. So everybody's committed, Andy, but it's hard in this league.
Sure.
You just gotta keep your nose to the grind and keep going. But football, our eyes are on football. We're ready. Everybody's ready for this program to flip it over and let's get going back in the right direction.
That would be nice for sure.
Oklahoma, Texas coming in, not getting any easier.
No.
In all these sports, by the way.
And Oklahoma coming to Jordan Hare Stadium.
I can't wait for that.
Year.
It's going to be fun.
Got to take a break. We'll be back with one final segment right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Thursday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Thank you again to Russell Dewitt Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Central Alabama Community College. Duke Miles, as we mentioned, visiting this week. He, I think, plans to make a decision by the end of the week.
Yeah,
so,
we're here.
We'll see.
Got one more day.
We'll see what will happen with that 6'3" guard, or
he's a guard
trying to come in. Well, this may be the final piece here, but averaging 17.5 points per game and 3.6 assists in the All Big South.
I remember him at
year.
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah,
I remember him part of the state champion team, and he went to Troy.
Yeah,
played at Troy, and then moved on from there. But you see these guys in all these sports kind of, Rivaldo Fairweather's a great example, and so is Denver Jones. Maybe not out of high school, but you go and you develop and you get bigger and stronger and adapt your game. And what you're finding now in the transfer portal, and I've talked to a bunch of coaches, a lot of coaches in multiple sports, and it's hurting the high school market to a extent, because you're going out there getting a guy seasoned, a veteran. This guy's played in college for 2 years versus going out and finding another high school guy and somebody that can come in and you feel good about them stepping in and giving you quality minutes right out of the gate rather than, I hate to use Aiden Holloway, but I'm using Aiden Holloway. You get a 5-star guy that comes in and you expect the world out of him, but he hasn't played in college yet. Doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. But this past year, Bruce Pearl gave him every opportunity to really raise his game, and maybe it was a little bit much for him this year. He couldn't adapt. And so you go out and get seasoned guys. Denver Jones finally got in the groove and became the player we all felt like he could. And I think going into this year, he's going to be really, really good, be a big-time three-point threat along with a couple other guys Auburn's picked up. But that's what you're seeing now in baseball, football, and basketball, going out and instead of using one of those scholarships on a guy out of high school, Andy, you're going and getting somebody that's already got experience and already been in the game for a couple of years.
That's using the transfer portal for, to your advantage, bringing in pieces that,
Right.
you wouldn't be able to get out of anywhere otherwise. Khalil Jacobs, linebacker from South Alabama, visited Auburn. He's, I think, still going to visit Missouri and Alabama. Got some connections to Missouri and Alabama in that I think his defensive coordinator is now at Missouri, and his head coach, Womack, is now the defensive coordinator at Alabama. So there's that connection there. But he seemed to enjoy his visit at Auburn. This is just another probably depth piece that you could bring in with Auburn because – the linebacker.
At this point, that's what you're doing.
The linebacker room is, it's probably where you'd like for it to be.
Well, I think what you're doing at this point, you're just adding depth in these positions, and there's not. Pretty much everybody's going to be where they are at this point, but you can add some depth if you can with some of these guys that are still out there. So we'll see. But I think Hugh Freeze did a really good job of going out, identifying where we had to build some depth, and the defensive line was one of those places. Defensive line was one of those, and we did answer that call.
Yeah. And gave up a lot of rushing yards last year, about over 150 a game. So having some more depth on that defensive line, maybe some better pieces, that's was definitely a need. The defense wasn't bad last year. But you add a couple of pieces on that defensive line, add in another linebacker like Dorian Macia? I don't know. And that can certainly shore up some holes and give you a chance to be a lot better.
Right.
All right, May 2nd, on this day, 1939, Lou Gehrig's streak of consecutive games played comes to an end at 2,130. That would stand for, good grief, nearly, 70 years?
Yeah.
And then Cal Ripken comes along and breaks it.
Broke the record, and but Lou Gehrig, man, what a player.
Oh, man, tremendous. And think about it, good grief, if he doesn't get sick. How much?
Oh, man.
What
No
would his
kidding.
numbers be? On this day, 1999, John Elway announced his retirement.
Finally got over the hump, got those Super Bowl wins.
Where is John Elway in your pantheon of NFL quarterbacks?
He's up there.
Top 5?
I'd have to think about it. I'm not going to sit here and open air and ponder it for 10 minutes. But I'll get back to you on that. He possibly could be. I'm not going to say he is. I need a list. I need to kind of process it. But he's up there for sure.
I think he's clearly he's top 10.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 10 quarterback. Highly touted coming out of Stanford, and
could have played baseball.
Could have played baseball too, and man, yeah, he lived up to the billing. Now for a while he was the other Jim Kelly.
Yeah,
get to the Super Bowl and get your doors blown off, but they finally got over the hump. So Walker White's birthday today, by the way.
Walker White, how about that? How about Randy Colley from Alexander City?
How about that?
Moondog Rex.
How about that?
Big Boss Man as well.
Big boss man.
It's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He's Brett. I'm Andy. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.